One of Singapore's oldest industrial estates is getting a makeover, which will help the manufacturing sector keep up with the times. Details of a master plan for Sungei Kadut were revealed. It covers a large area, bigger than 700 football fields, in fact.
Trade and Industry Minister Chun said the changes will lay the foundation for future high-tech industries, and this will create higher value manufacturing jobs for Singaporeans over the next 30 years.
The initiative by Government Industrial Planner JTC Corporation is part of wider efforts to breathe new life into older industrial estates. The skills learned from doing this will also come in handy for the future.
We will be able to export such capabilities to rejuvenate other people's brownfield industrial estate sites as well. So we hope that through this, JTC will develop new capabilities in real estate management, planning and architecture, with the planning and architecture communities, develop new capabilities in designing living spaces that are adaptable and fast-changing.
Vast, sleepy warehouses and time-worn tools are typical sights in Sungei Kadut. It's an aging industrial estate that houses firms in the timber, construction, furniture and waste management trade. But with the new master plan by JTC, it could look like this in the next 30 years. The plan for the Sungei Kadut eco-district is to transform these existing industries and make way for new growth areas in agricultural and environmental technology.
Land is scarce in Singapore, and we should be really looking at our old estates to see how we can better optimize the land. Also, technology and digitalization is really changing the way that industries are moving. So we need to make sure that our industrial estates are really flexible and adaptable to the future.
The district in northern Singapore will span 500 hectares or around 700 football fields. It will have 4 zones, including an Agri-Food Innovation Park or AFIP. Up north, the highlight is Singapore's first multi-storey recycling facility, Kranji Green, to be completed next year. Timber and construction industries will be clustered nearby to make the most use out of materials and waste produced. Nearby, the 18-hectare AFIP will house R&D activities and high-tech farms like indoor farming and aquaculture hatcheries. It will open in stages from next year. It will be a step closer to Singapore's goals of producing 30% of its food by 2030 and becoming a zero-waste nation. Meanwhile, the central zone will be a hub for light industries like furniture manufacturing, with an MRT station there by mid-2030. There'll also be dining, leisure and recreational facilities and residences along the waterfront. Down south, it's a mixed-use district with co-living and co-working spaces, as well as park connectors and biodiversity trails.
I think the excitement is not just in the enhancement of the site and the entire district in terms of land capacity. There is the added emphasis in the bigger notion of sustainability, and there's also this added factor of the celebration of social well-being within the conceptualization of this future site.
Moving forward, about 40% of land will be set aside throughout the district to house future growth industries.
And about 50 companies have confirmed they'll move into the area, or they have expressed interest. They expect to benefit from economies of scale and, of course, lower business costs.
For Melissa Tan, Sungei Kadut is a second home. Her family's recycling and waste management firm has been here for 4 decades. But she'll be bidding farewell to this plot of land when the company moves into the 6-storey recycling facility, Kranji Green, in about 2 years. While moving out is bittersweet, she says there'll be huge benefits from being close to other recycling companies.
I'm a multi-material recycling company where I will have all sorts of plastic recyclable materials, where after it's being sorted or basic treatment has been done, I can then forward my materials to the tenants that's around the building, whether it's upstairs or downstairs. That will save a lot of my time and a lot of my costs.
She adds that sharing common facilities with others, such as meeting rooms and weighing equipment, may also help cut costs. Ms. Tan's firm is one of about 50 others that plan to or have booked a place in the estate's 3 specialized industry spaces so far. The other spaces are for furniture, timber, metal and machinery industries. The eco-district's large agri-tech cluster is welcome news for one company, which says banding together will help scale up the now fragmented sector.
In terms of distribution of produce, certain outlets they are actually smaller because the consumption is not as high. So it's actually quite challenging for us to send a temperature controlled truck to deliver a small batch of chilled fresh produce over to their store. So by working with other distribution partners like food service companies, you can actually consolidate into a basket of goods.
For long-time tenant, timber recycling company LHT Holdings, another benefit of the revamp is using land more efficiently.
If we end up in this new eco district, we will be occupy about 18,000 square meter that cut down the land size of about 70%, but we have built a multi-story ramp-up factory that make it more sustainable. We can save more or less about 800,000 a year.
A possible challenge that companies will have to deal with, Ms. Yap says, is learning how to manage operations vertically across multiple stories rather than on one level.